Hi, everyone. Welcome to Broke Teachers Travel Podcast. I'm Marnie.
And I'm Jordan. And today we're going to be talking about the reality of traveling as a college student.
Oh, this should be a good one.
Absolutely. I guess you could say I'm seasoned at this.
Yeah, that's what we'll say. You have a little bit of experience with this.
I would just actually say a little bit.
So, what is the first tip you have?
My first tip is that moving into a dorm or an apartment can be a huge cost.
Oh, yeah. Very, very big.
And you really don't need anything but the basics for moving, really.
Do you think people overdo to begin with?
Absolutely. I've got no doubt about that. I think a lot of the time people will go online and kind of do their research of what are things that I need for my dorm, and a list of 50 things will show up, and you're going to go to Bed Bath & Beyond somewhere, and you're going to spend literally $1,000 on your dorm.
Trying to just meet that list.
Right. And you don't need everything on there. I mean, you're not going to know what you need or want till you get there, really.
That is true. That is very true.
It's kind of like when you go on a vacation. Do I have a kitchenette in my thing, or am I going to need to go out every night? That's kind of something in my opinion, that's something that you kind of need to look at.
Yeah, I agree. I think that is a very good point and a money saving point.
Oh, absolutely. And remember, you don't need to get everything in one trip. Because, there are times, a lot of colleges have parent days where, parents can come up and they can come, hang out with their kid or whatever for the weekend, for the day, to come to a football game if they want to.
Mm-hmm.
All those different things.
That's true. They can bring stuff in. If it's something you just desperately need, yeah.
Right. And if it's something that you desperately need from home, if you have wonderful parents like I do, they'll ship it to you.
Thank you. Yes, but shipping is even really expensive now.
Absolutely.
So you have to be kind of selective about what you're going to send, how you're going to get things there. So, yeah.
Something else that'll help too is creating an Amazon wish list. A lot of people have that.
Oh, that's a great idea.
And people who have kind of helped raise you, or family members love to contribute to that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
One suggestion that I would probably have is make a QR code on the back of a graduation party invite, so you can continuously add up things on that list.
Yeah.
For you to kind of just go through and buy, or things that you want or need.
Right.
And you can continuously add to that list for people to get that stuff for you if you can't fully fund it yourself.
That is a great idea. And it saves you money because you're not buying everything yourself. So there's some money that you can stash, Yeah, I love that. Anything else you have? Other than the Amazon wish list, how would you go about getting furniture? Would you just haul what you have from home?
I think it depends on kind of where you're coming from. If you're literally just moving out of your parents' house in that same city, I would just say that, bring your stuff. But if not, check things like Facebook Marketplace whenever you get there. Or a local thrift store, consignment shop, whatever.
That's a good idea, because people in the town who are in college have probably sold that to those places anyway.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That was something whenever I came here. I came from a really touristy town.
Oh, yeah, very tourist-driven town.
And then when I got married, I was looking on Facebook Marketplace for bar stools or something. And I was looking for 2 or 3 for our house, just in case we had company or whatever. There were singular bar stools, and I'm like, who would need a singular bar stool?
A college kid.
A college kid would need that. And that's the thing. Check Facebook Marketplace and save you money. You don't have to go buy full price things to furnish your dorm. Because guess what?
And it could be nice things that you
find. You're not going to use that again after college.
No.
Just remember that too. And you can turn around and sell things on Facebook Marketplace to make money too. If you bring something with you that you don't end up liking, or you feel like it's going to take up space, sell it back. Sell it to somebody else.
And that would be a great way to earn back some of the money that you've put out, for buying the furniture and stuff. That is a really good point.
Right. One thing that I would say too is consider an apartment or a dorm. Just kind of look at that, because is it going to be cheaper to get a dorm? There are a lot of fees,
Yeah, that's true.
I've personally never stayed in a dorm, but I've got tons of friends who did, and they were the fees are just ridiculous. And then they would end up going in an apartment and splitting one, or a house and splitting that rent with their friends and the bills, and it was so much cheaper for them to do
and
that.
probably more comfortable as well, because you can spread out a little bit.
And you get to choose at that point
and you have a kitchen
who you're rooming with.
Oh, that's a good point too.
That's very, very nice. I know.
Even though you might pay more monthly for the dorm, you would probably save some by buying groceries and cooking more.
Right, and also you're going to save on gas too living in a dorm, because you're on campus and everything should be generally right there. So you really don't have to leave.
Yeah.
There have been pros and cons. I know with my husband, he lived on a campus because that was like prior to COVID. Whenever I started college, it was the COVID era. So we didn't have dorms, and they just didn't have dorms at my school yet. So living at home too, I mean, honestly, that can save you money. If you can
do it,
if you're like 20 or 30 minutes from your college, stay with your parents. I promise you it'll save money, like tons of it. And you don't have to take out like extra student loans for like dorm fees or anything like that. I know that. So that's something to definitely consider, and that is consider an apartment or that, and splitting that with people.
Yeah. That splitting it really does make a difference, because it really cuts the cost there. Mm-hmm. And I mean, you split everything, the utilities, all of it. And it really can be a game changer, I think, and determine whether you want the dorm life or the apartment life,
Right. And do keep in mind, too, if you want good food, maybe lean towards an apartment. Just get an apartment, kids. Yeah. Great idea.
Then you can cook real food. Now, have you explored the area here yet? I mean, I know you have a little.
I would say yes.
Before this weekend with us.
Before this weekend, I haven't really gotten to explore too much, just because my husband works and where I'm in school, so it's just kind of
hectic.
Yeah, it's crazy, and
But I think that's important, and we've tried to do some of that this weekend. I mean,
think I've definitely like learned little things. Like, there are a lot more little local restaurants around here. Like today, we went to one of the like little local restaurants, and I've never eaten there, and I've lived here for almost a year. You would think I would have gone by now, and I haven't. And I was like, wow, this place is amazing. So good. Like, I just want to keep going back there. I mean, honestly, if I could eat that club that I had today every meal, I probably would. I mean,
so
it was
good.
So
yes,
good.
Yes.
And like yesterday, we got to go 30 minutes away from here.
Yeah, we ventured out.
The birthplace of
Tennessee Williams. Yeah,
it was so cool. Because, like, it's funny because, I mean, we passed that all the time and we didn't know it was there.
Yeah. So, it's just kind of quietly sitting there, and people don't know.
It's kind of like back in there, but you don't realize that until you're looking online. Like,
because it's in the downtown area of that place. Right. So it's not like it's hidden. Mm-hmm. It's just not something people see all the time. It's not a main road
that people take. So it's downtown, but for us,
it's an older downtown area.
For us, it's not somewhere that we're going to go. We're very like kind of destination oriented here, just because we have a tight schedule with being in school.
Yeah, but I do think it is important to explore, find out what's in the area and the surrounding areas as well. Right. You can find great entertainment, great food, and just get to know the place and the people, and it's a lot of fun too. We've had a great time this weekend.
I think around here too, like something that's been cool is seeing that transition from where I moved to an area that's like a college town, because it's very very different. I think like yesterday it was cool being able to take you guys to Kroger.
Yes.
Which, like, y'all don't have there. So
we don't have that, no.
I mean, as silly as it sounds, take them to grocery stores that they don't have, because they can go and save money and go get groceries before they leave, which they're doing tomorrow.
We're buying some sodas and things for the road, because it's much less expensive than they are at home. And
Absolutely.
We're like, oh, maybe we should grab a few of these before we hit the road again.
Right. And speaking of before they hit the road, fuel points.
We have to fuel up. Yes.
Think about fuel points. You can get them from credit cards. You can get them from coupons. I know with Kroger I want to say it's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Might be wrong on that, but they offer 4 times the fuel points. So you can get like $1 off of gas if you spend like around $200 for like a week or two worth of groceries, which is insane. Because I mean, gas is it's much cheaper here, but
yes.
I mean, you can get gas for like $1.86 a gallon, and we miss those prices. If anybody can do anything about that, please do.
That would be very helpful.
Especially in the traveling aspect of things. I mean, y'all might come up here more if gas was not like $4 where y'all are. So.
Yeah, it's $3.59 last I checked. Yeah, it's crazy. But those fuel points do add up, and they can be helpful to college students because when they travel home or when they're traveling to see a friend or even just their day-to-day life, that can save a lot of money for them.
Right.
And you don't, I mean, yes, some credit cards have them, but it doesn't always have to be a credit card. Like she said, Kroger, just when you buy, you have a Kroger account or, you're one of their club members or something, they earn points that way. And there's no credit card involved. So there's no debt there. You're just simply earning the points and saving the money on gas.
Right. And if you do use a credit card like for Kroger, make sure that you guys have that money already. Don't just go put it on a card that you don't have money for, because that's going to just put you further and further into debt, whenever you can just use that money that you've earned from like tips or something. Like if you're a delivery driver, use your tips and just turn around and pay that off immediately.
Yes.
Because, I mean, that'll help you
We're in the habit of literally doing it. As soon as we make the charge, we turn around and pay it off immediately.
That's so awesome.
Yeah. Now another thing, fuel is important, but what about flying? Some kids have to fly.
Right. Flying is very, very expensive. It's a very costly thing to do.
Oh yeah. Airline tickets are not cheap.
It's very doable too. I mean, something that a lot of airlines offer is a student discount, which is awesome.
Yeah, I didn't realize that until recently, that they do offer some or some airlines do offer students discounts.
And I'm not exactly sure which one, just because my local airport is really tiny.
Really small, yeah.
But I have heard a lot of people talking about that, and maybe that's something that we can kind of like maybe interview somebody on or something and have them just kind of like inform us of like what their experience was with that. And if you have done that, comment down below.
Yeah, let us know,
because we would love to kind of like chat with you and figure out more so we can get
the logistics of student discounts. Yeah. And also check the area airports if you're flying in or out, because different airports give better rates.
Oh, absolutely. I know here, I mean, tickets, just because, again, it's a small airport and you kind of have to guarantee a flight to and from, it's like $400 for an airplane ticket here. And then you go to, like, Birmingham, which is, like, I don't know how far away, but it's within a reasonable amount to drive.
Yeah, a couple of hours,
and it's like $100 for a flight to Orlando, which is insane, because, like, you want to go to Disney World, I mean, I'm going to pay an extra $100 rather than making a 13-hour drive.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, definitely. Now, a lot of parents fly in or drive in for big games, sports events and things.
I would say y'all did that.
Yes, we did. Well, we attempted to do that. All the hotels were booked.
Yeah, you guys literally ended up having to stay like an hour and a half away from here.
Yeah, we had to drive in.
It was so crazy. And I mean, literally here, tailgating is a big thing here, and I love that. Yeah. I am all in for tailgating. I'm so glad
it's
here.
Yeah.
But that does lead to lack of hotels and lack of like Airbnbs and all of that.
And huge price hikes.
Which is definitely something to consider too, going back to the earlier topic of dorm versus apartment.
Yes. Yes, because if you have that apartment, you might have some extra space that you would not have in a dorm or be allowed to do in a dorm for your parents to stay or friends and family to come in and stay.
Absolutely. And I mean, like, this week has been awesome because you guys have been able to stay with us.
Yes.
And I mean, that probably cut $1,000 out of your trip just because it's heading towards the time of football season, so prepping's underway.
Yes, kids are coming back to campus,
right,
things
and
like that.
Even coming to look at houses and stuff too.
Yes.
So it's definitely something to think about if you are a college kid. Make sure to think about that. If you have family that's going to come stay with you or not, think about that. Consider that, because that's going to save you a lot of money and your family a lot of money. And they might even like send you $25-$50 a month just to have that security, almost like a security deposit for their stay.
Yeah, it's kind of like they're renting the air mattress from you.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
But they will happily do it. Trust me.
No, absolutely. Yes. I mean, especially if you're like, hey, here's some money. I mean, you're a broke college kid.
Yes, exactly.
And trust me, they will definitely say yes. I would say yes.
Now, on those sporting events, do you get discount tickets?
I do get discounts for myself, which is awesome. Because, I mean, if y'all are coming up here and we go to a football game or something, it's cheaper because we're not paying full price ticket.
For you. Yeah.
Right. And that's super, super helpful. And that's something else, too. If y'all are traveling for a football game, get those tickets the minute that schedule comes out.
Yes.
And also, like, again, get hotels, get whatever as soon as that football schedule drops, because you will be stuck, even if you're just going to go visit your kid, because they were literally just coming to visit me.
Right.
I mean,
we weren't here for the game. We were literally just coming to visit.
Weekend, and it was like a week after our wedding, and we were like, can you bring this? No, I can't find a hotel.
Exactly.
That's definitely something to consider, is just like making sure that you pay attention to that.
Now, are there other things that you get discounts on as a student?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Something that I would suggest is always making sure that you have your little student ID card with you. Mm-hmm. That is very, very helpful. I mean, it goes for teachers too, right? Yes,
it does. It really does. It more often than you could imagine, you can get a small discount as a teacher.
Right. And I mean, like at stores like, doesn't Michael's offer a teacher discount?
Yes, Michael's does. Barnes & Noble does. Books A Million does. Joann's does. Yes.
There are a bunch of like little places. So, I mean, before you leave home, if your parents or teachers like mine, that was like a great thing to be able to go like get little like decor and stuff. And I mean, that was great for my schooling environment anyway.
Yes.
And then you could end up using it for your classroom later. You
right.
know? I mean, we've had certain stuff that's been great. But, yeah, no, that goes for students, too. Like, seriously, look into that, because there are apps like Unidays and different, like, websites and stuff that I found out. I mean, I've gotten tons of discounts on stuff around here. I got stuff like an oil change. I got, like, $20 off my oil change.
That's a substantial savings.
Yeah, and then my husband and I went out to eat, and we got, like, 25 or 30% off of our food.
That is a large discount for a restaurant deal.
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely.
Wow.
And they were doing that for, like, current students and I think maybe former students. So keep your student ID.
Yeah. Wow. That's actually very impressive. Do a lot of kids have jobs in college, don't they?
So I will say it's like a 50-50 kind of situation. It kind of depends. Yeah. One, it depends on the classes that you're taking.
Yes.
And obviously prioritize school before you prioritize anything else. That is 100%. So important, because that's going to depend on your career later on. But I will say, like, it's helpful if they do have a job to get a job at a chain restaurant.
Why do you think?
I think that because they can often like transfer, if they're like staying in one state and then they're transferring to like another state for the summer, like they're going home to see their family or whatever, that job can transfer. Those people have already been trained.
So they can still make the money.
On both people's place, but they can still make money. And that's like another thing I will say too is tips.
Oh, yeah.
Work somewhere that you can get tips, whether you're a server, a busser, a driver, whatever, a hostess. I mean, you can get tons and tons of money. I know that's what my brother did.
Yeah.
And he could like fund his music.
Funded a lot of musical instruments and art supplies. Yes.
Right. And
that is a big one.
That's been like so exciting too, is just kind of like seeing how much he was able to kind of grow from that. And it gives you great life skills too. If you have a job in college, if you've never had a job, college is a great time to kind of practice getting out into the real world, seeing what you're doing.
With that little bit of a safety net. Yeah.
Right. And I mean, even look at something that's in your degree path. Like for me, I'm studying educational psychology. So if I want to go kind of observe in a classroom, something I might do is go sub, you know?
Yeah. It gives you that experience.
Right. And that also gives me money to go travel and kind of just see like the surrounding areas, because that's what I would want to do with that money that I earned.
Right.
So that's very, very helpful. And, you know, I think one last thing I would like to kind of say is if you're graduating or moving home or whatever, make sure you don't waste your stuff that you bought.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's true.
You can donate it, you can sell it, you can do whatever. But, I mean, ask your school, like, I don't want this to go to waste. What do I do? Because I've seen so many people just waste, like, $1,000 that they spent at, like, Bed Bath & Beyond or, like, Target or something. And I hate that.
They may have some sort of program to help students who need the things. or there may be someone that you run into in the hallway that needs it, you know.
Right. And I mean, people want to buy stuff too. Like, I mean, if you're done using your iPad or something, give it to like a younger student who's like starting in college. Freshman,
yeah.
I mean, that's been a great thing that I've seen, and I just love seeing that kind of like bond too.
Yeah.
Between those students is just being able to, like, if you're moving home or whatever, hey, here's this. I'm not pushing this on you, but if you want it, this will help you. This will help you save money so you can do things like you can go travel with this, or just kind of do whatever you want to. But that's so helpful because then you get that back for you too.
Right.
It's not just like, oh, hey, I got $20. It's, oh, hey, I've got $20 that I can now do this with that I didn't have before.
Exactly. Well, those are some good points.
Thank you. I'm so happy I was able to come
I
on
am
today.
so excited you were able to do this with me.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. It was a pleasure, as always. But that's going to do it for tonight. And thank you so much for watching. Remember, subscribe, like, follow us on social media. We're on all the channels. Yes, our social media person. And remember that we have a website too, BrokeTeachersTravel.com. Check that out. There's lots of good information there, and we're adding more every day.
And the link's in our bio.
Yes. Subscribe to all of our social media channels. And remember, comment. We want to have this travel conversation with you. We want to talk about these things with you guys.
Comment down below something that you learned in college, a money saving tip, because I want to know.
Yes, we need these. Please. Please. But that's going to do it. Remember, break the monotony,
not the bank.
Bye.